That's right, live on Chicano Tube, live on Chicano Street. You already know what it is. Gracias, mi linda raza. One more time for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like, hit that subscribe. And when you do, you got to hit the bell. And then you have to hit the all button. That way you're notified every single time that we go live. Gracias to all the day oneers. Gracias to everyone in the members only. I appreciate you from the bottom of mi corazón. The members only is what I call the backbone of the community. If you didn't know, we're going to get into it tonight. There's a lot to talk about. La pinche hora just flies by really, really quick. But before we do that, let me go ahead and get the chat up right now. And before I get the chat up right now, I want to go ahead and make an announcement. So this Friday night, we're going to have a very, very special guest on the channel. So your boys, we're going there. We're going to California Senate level politics. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to bring in the ones that make the bills, the ones that make the laws, the ones that affect me and affect you. So we're going to have Tony Virueta, who is he's running against the incumbent John Laird. So I can't wait for that one. That's going to be this Friday night. Don't forget, it's going to be at 7 p.m. Tune in. We're going to sit down. I told you we're going to start a series of in-person interviews. I think it's a little bit more intimate where we get to talk to the person, ask about the policies. We're going to talk about everything. We're going to talk about everything. He asked me, Tony, and shout out to you, Tony, Virueta. We're going to talk about everything. It's going to go from immigration to the border to the economy to the current administration and on and on. So it's going to be a really great conversation. Join us this Friday night on Chicano Street for that conversation. We ain't talking local politics. I'm more familiar with local politics. We're talking California Senate level politics. These are the movers and shakers that make all the bills that affect me and that affect you. So be on the lookout for that one. That's going to be a really good one on Friday night. That's going to be very substantial. I mean, something that really benefits me and benefits you. But let's ask the hard questions, because I tell these individuals all the time, hey, we're going to get into the tough questions and tough conversations, because those that want to represent us should be held at a higher standard, a way higher standard than those that don't, give a rat's or want to represent anyone. That's good. It's better you keep your mouth closed than to say, hey, take a picture of me. Hey, I'm going to help my community. I'm getting into politics. Take a big cheesy photo like this. And then next thing you know, you tell the people that I quit because of a printer. It would have been better to keep it quiet. But anyways, that's right. Shadow Pit, I see you, my boy. I appreciate you. Before we get into it tonight, of course, all the day oneers, everyone inside the chat that's trickling in right now for that Wednesday Chicano fix. I highly appreciate you guys, more than you know. That's right. Pancho Zapata, I see you, my boy. Burques in the casa, I appreciate you. That's right. Disco El Super Visto is posted with a burrito de asada, comiendo comida de asada. Bowie Aguilar, that's right, my boy. Gilbert, what's cracking? What's cracking with you, cabron? We got a lot to talk about. Let's go ahead and get into it. All the Chicano channels, shout out to you. You know who you are. All the Chicano pages, shout out to you. You know who you are. And, of course, we're just talking about him. Military war hero from the 75th Regiment of Airborne Rangers. That's a chingon right there. That's a chingon. He's a Salinas native. He took it from the local level. Now he wants to go to the Senate level and knock off the incumbent that's sitting up there. So we're going to have a great conversation about everything. So shout out to him. One thing that also crossed my feed, let's go ahead and get into it right now. Alex Enamorado, the Justice 8. I saw that interview yesterday on Hood Stocks con la Capitana Esti. La Capitana Esti. Captain of what, you may ask? I think it's the Brown Beret organization. I think they're still around from the 60s. And no quiero menospreciar, at all ever a movement that helped the raza. Okay. I think I failed to say that last time. I might have been joking around a little bit when I mentioned the brown berets. I might have been joking around, but I'm not joking around when I tell you this, that I highly appreciate everything that they did, because everything that we have, gente, okay, but, going through before civil rights, when the gente was just really back against the wall, we were getting minimum wages, next to nothing. I mean, we're getting nothing. The raza we couldn't even live in the suburbs. We couldn't even live in the township. They had us in tents under trees, living with our families, instead of crossing the border every day like our grandparents used to do. They had us living out on the outskirts of town, but the raza was the ones that were doing the hard labor. It's always been the raza, right? We're the ones that do the hard labor. So no quiero menospreciar the Brown Beret organization. I just want to say that as well, because everything that we have that we call a right, it's a right. It's my right for this, and it's my right for that. Everything that we have that we call a right, at one point, someone had to fight for it. We just didn't get it. I know it sounds good, right? In the U.S. Constitution, it's inherent that all men are created equal. Well, I mean, we just celebrated Juneteenth, the emancipation of slaves. So it wasn't always like that. It was written like that in the 18th century. But for a long time, still afterwards, no one still adhered to those rules, the Constitution, the reglas, the policies, and all that stuff. So yes, I want to give a shout out to the Brown Beret organization, the modern day. I don't know exactly their mission statement or what they're doing today. Maybe it's something a little bit newer school, but I don't know. But I did tune into Hood Stocks, and I seen La Capitana Esti, and she looked calmada. I mean, I'm going to keep it real. She looked calmada. She looks like she doesn't want to catch a violation. Straight up. La Capitana Esti, on Hood Stocks, she looks like, she spoke her mind or spoke her piece. She didn't divulge anything about the case because still, I believe it's not a pending case, I don't think, for her anymore. But still, you just got to let some things go. If she just went through 6 months adentro del bote, away from her children, your priorities line up. And I do like this that she was talking about, and I tuned in for a little bit, not too long. She was kind of monotone. She was kind of like, there wasn't a lot of personality inside the live. She was there, but that's just her personality. Maybe you don't have to be an expressive. Well, you do if you have a podcast. But so she wasn't divulging anything, but she was right there, calladita, like she. It was an experience for her that was a huge learning experience. Now, I know the comments can go wild and be like, yeah, that's what they do. They oppress you when they want to silence you and they lock you up. And I get that. You can go ahead and drop your comment below. Maybe we'll open up the phone lines a little bit later. We got a lot to cover today. But I just wanted to mention that I saw it. It was a good interview for the time that I did see it. And I'm glad that La Capitana Esti, Wendy, and the other female in the Justice 8, I only think there's 2 more that are incarcerated, but I could be wrong. I only think there's 2 that are incarcerated. And Alex Enamorado has just recently switched counsels. He just recently... Let me get this BG on this. I'm sorry. Yeah, he just... There it is. And a little bit bigger. Okay. So Alex Enamorado has just recently switched counsel. I'm only assuming, but I think that attorney Rosenberg, I mean, if you want someone that looks like he has a high price tag, you're going to pay that high price tag. As much as attorney Rosenberg wants to come off that, oh, yeah, he's for Chicanos and he's helping the people, he came out with a statement like yesterday. He just came out with a statement because he saw the noise on the internet. The noise on the internet. According to him, it's noise. But I think there's some truth to it. I think that his price tag was the main reason. I mean, and so they got another attorney. So Attorney Rosenberg gave a statement, and he said, it's funny because, si te cae el chaquetón, te cae el chaquetón. Why would you say in your statement? Why would you say in it? This was not about money. Why would you even say that if it wasn't about money? El que no debe, no teme. It probably was around money. Now, I have only heard that Alex, also there was disagreements with the way he was handling his case. What do I mean by that? Well, Alex wants the same deal that the other co-defendants got. He wants the same deal. Some of them got time served. Some of them right now are working deals to only get a flat year, and they'll be out in December. This is what's circulating through the grapevines, okay? For Alex, he wanted the same deal. The only thing that I believe is the biggest mitigator, the biggest argument to having Alex get off like the rest of the co-defendants get off, time served, the ladies that got time served, or the one cabron that got off first, and then the other one or two that sounds like they're getting time served, a flat year in December. The only reason he can't get that is because he's the ringleader. He's the head of the whole operation. And how many times, and again, I'm not talking about the corruption. I'm not talking about, is there bad apples? I believe there are. I believe there are bad players everywhere. I don't think the system is 100% fair. I think Lady Justice is still blind. Or sometimes she has one eye open, as in this case. It looks like she has one eye open, and they wanted to get him purposely off the street because he was a ringleader. I don't know. He just, sometimes they release cabrones, and the punishment wasn't enough. And guess what happens? The next night, he's at the mayor's house again with pitchforks and torches and all of that. So that's why he's not going to be able to get off that easy. I looked up the new attorney, and I don't think the new attorney was an upgrade. I actually think it was a downgrade. I'm going to tell you why right now. The golden rule, right? You get what you pay for. You get what you pay for. If you go to the 99-cent store and buy something, you can't expect it to last as long as if you went to a premium store, whatever store you want to call, Macy's or whatever. You just can't expect it. Does that make sense? I know it makes sense to my raza. I know it makes sense to my chat over here because they're just very highly intelligent, critical thinkers, this whole group right here of raza. So I looked up the new attorney and I looked up his IG, right? And I'm like, who is this guy? He's first of all, I don't even know. It doesn't matter. This really doesn't matter. I didn't know what kind of raza he is. He might be Middle Eastern. He might be Romanian. His last name is definitely not a raza last name, but who gives a rats? I mean, that's neither here, that's neither there. But on his bio on IG, it says Damon Amori. And on his bio on IG, you're not going to believe me, but on his bio on IG, it says rock and roll gangster. I mean, I don't know. So again, I'm a little hesitant. I would want, first of all, I would want the best counsel possible. Okay, and the best counsel possible is a very high price tag. Okay, that's the first thing I would want because that would give me the optimum position in order for me to work out some kind of deal. Hopefully, some kind of deal. Second of all, I don't want anyone that's trying to get internet famous. I know too many attorneys right now that are hitter attorneys. I mean hitter. But in order to talk to them, just to sit down and talk to him is 5 digits. Just to sit down and talk to him is 5 digits. And these guys, the more high-end ones, are nowhere on the internet. They're not on IG. They're not on TikTok. Menos YouTube. They're not going around to rap concerts and wanting people to tag them in photos. They don't come up with catchy punchlines. Punching back. None of these gimmicks, because they radiate that dominant alpha attorney energy. And a dominant alpha attorney or female attorney, right? It could be an alpha female attorney, like Jada Pinkett. No, I'm just kidding. They don't want the attention. They want to get to work. And for that price tag, you're going to get the results you pay for. So I think it was a downgrade with this guy. I think he's another clout chaser. Clout chaser to clout chaser. But now we got a clout chaser with a lesser bill. I mean, that's what I think. That's right. Pancho Zapata, see you, my boy. That's right, boy Aguilar. Jaime, that's right. Working as a mechanic for a living. I still can't believe I finally got my wrench in the YouTube yarda. Thanks, Big Mike. Hey, be on the lookout, because I'm working on a YouTube yarda once a month show for the people. We're gonna make it happen. If anyone can make it happen, it's Mikey. Trust me, I'm a master negotiator. If I couldn't make it happen, then they were divas. I mean, they wanted grapes, feathers, a limo, sparkling wine, you name it. If I can't make it happen, it's divas. You know what I mean? But anyways, be on the lookout for that, cabron. J.M. Ortega, that's right, my boy. Why isn't my boy J.M. Ortega wrenched up? Why? Hold on a second. We're going to change that right now, because that's one of my day oneers. J.M. Ortega is one of my day oneers right there. Where is he at? There's J.M. Ortega. Boom. And then another day oneer. Can't believe Livingston didn't get a wrench. Give a book on that one. All right. Let's keep it pushing. We got a lot of things to cover tonight. But anyways, enough of Alex Enamorado. I wish him the best. He's going to be trending. We're going to talk about it. They're setting up pre-trial right now. Pre-trial is a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I mean, the new attorney sounds good. I mean, he sounds exactly like Rosenberg. I want all the information. I want this and I want that and blah, blah, blah. And hopefully things go square and fair in court. And when he gets sentenced, that's going to be headlines. I mean, when Alex gets sentenced, it's going to be headlines all over YouTube Landia. And we're going to go live and we're going to talk about the sentence to see if it was a railroad or to see what the people think. I always like to present it to the Razas court. Sometimes I leave it open-ended. That way you guys can decide. Forget me trying to tell you, think objectively, think critically, which you should every time in every issue. I'm going to leave that open-ended and see what you guys think after the sentencing, which it should be this year. It should be this year because I believe he waived his rights and got a speedy trial. So obviously they had to switch counsel, get ready for the speedy trial because he's just rotting away, man. Especially if he's waiving time. I hope he's not waiving time. But they could be. The only reason they waive time is to prepare the defense. That's the only reason. But waiving time ultimately is waiving days from your life that you could be moving on and starting a new chapter. All right, anyways. That's right, Burqueño. Lady Justice always peeking through that blindfold. Yeah, and you know what I mean by that, right? What I mean is that Lady Justice is supposed to be blind with the paño around her head. Like Little Rob. Like Little Rob. Lady Justice is supposed to have the paño around her head. That means she's on that Martin Luther King thing. Like, I don't want to hear about race. I don't want to hear about creed, color, religion, who you go to bed with. None of that stuff matters. All I want to know is the facts. Give me the facts. And then based on the facts, we get the sentence. Even though there's a disproportionate amount of minorities that get broke off. Okay? There's instances where and we're going to talk about Jocelyn Nungaray. Huge tragedy. Absolutely rips my heart straight out of my chest. I'm one of those kind of fathers that I put myself in parents' shoes when these kind of tragedies happen. But anyways, we're going to see, Lady Justice, when she peeks through one eye, she's leaning toward because he's brown or because he's this, they're going to get a hard sentence. There was a cabron in California. I want to say it happened at either Stanford or Berkeley. Do you remember the story? His name was Brock. I couldn't remember his name. Era un pinche vato feo también, flaco. His name was Brock, okay? So this is where the disproportionate comes into play, or people make the argument that the laws aren't fair across the board. They're not. You had someone like this individual who they came out in court. It came out. He grew up with a silver spoon in his mouth. What does that mean? He grew up with billetes. He grew up with a lot of these everywhere. He was born and his crib was full of billetes. Okay. And so what did he do? He ended up assaulting. He arred a female in a dumpster area and left her there. And what was his sentence? He got a slap on the hand, probation, and walked away from court. Now, in my opinion, anyone that does that, automatically the first thing that needs to happen to them is castration. That's just my opinion. And I don't give a shit about what other people think. I think that's the first thing that should happen when anyone does anything that involves that type of nature of crime. You can't control it, then you don't need it. So that crime, right, he got probation and he walked off like a slap on the hand because the parents have money. And then you have a minority that does the same thing. Again, it's all sick. I'm not saying it's right. You heard what I just said moments ago. And he's gone for 10, 15 years. He's gone for 15 or 20 years. And I don't even think that's enough time anyways. Some people will be like, oh, the punishments need to be softer. Cabrones, they need to be harder. What do you mean softer, man? Harder. Imagine if we went back to the Old Testament days when alguien robó algo. Oh, you want to be a thief? Boom. Machete. Sas. And guess what? The ones that continue to do it are really less fortunate and might need some help. And that we might need to consider, some kind of checks and balances in the system. But anyways, enough of the Justice 8. That's enough. Let's go ahead and see some of the comments right now. If you hold burning tikis, you can protest, and Trump will call you fine people. There he goes. Who's in the building again? Before I put up the phone number. Risky business. I appreciate you, cabron. We are the election. The first debate is happening tomorrow night. It's going to be at 6 p.m. It's going to be on CNN, which I call the Clinton News Network. All of these stipulations that Tata 46, Weekend at Bernie's, all of the stipulations that he put on the debate, Uncle Trump accepted. Oh, there can't be a crowd. Okay. It needs to be on CNN. Okay. It needs to be CNN moderators. Okay. And guess what that means? When you got 2 CNN moderators and Tata 46, you really got a 3-on-1. I just hope and I pray that at this point, June of 2024, 4 months out, the people don't forget. Don't forget what they did in 2020. Don't forget what they did in 20. What do I mean? What did they do in 2020? Remember, a month or two before the elections, 1 month, right before the elections, guess what happened? Hunter's laptop. Hunter's laptop started to go trending, and guess what they did? Oh, shh, shh, shh. Cállate, cállate, cállate. And that was found to be true. Now we have a convicted felon who is, the son of a sitting president. Did it make many headlines? No, it didn't, because they control all the headlines. If you don't want to hear about it, they'll make sure you don't hear about it. I just want to make sure the people don't forget that. They lied to us about his laptop. And another thing I don't want, man, I'm getting emotional now. Whoo, pinche risky. See what happens, risky business, when you step in the casa, cabron? You're going to bring it out, cabron. Don't even call tonight, cabron. Don't even call. I'm on fire. I'm just playing. And the second thing I don't want the people to forget is COVID. They lied to us about that. People murieron from depression. They unalived themselves. They lost their jobs. They couldn't support their families. There was divorces. Marriages suffered because of that. They told you and me that if we didn't get a shot in the arm, we'd be dead. All of us. Right now, none of us would be alive. They made it seem like the black pinchy plague that was going to wipe out society. And here we are 3 years later. I just don't want the people to forget that when they vote on November 5th. And we are going to do an election live. And this Friday night, we finally step in the political realm. You know, we're going to go to California Senate level politics, not local, not regional. And since we're California, we're going to be talking about the border. We're going to be talking about immigration because that directly affects a border state like California. All right, I'm already getting fired up over here, cabrón. That's right, Spanquillo Contreras in the casa. That's right, my boy. I appreciate you. Orale, likewise, Islos, love, respect. I send mine right back to you, cabrón. Maybe we'll see each other. Like I said, I'm going to be, I touched base today with Big Paul from LA Times, Cholo Trucker, my brother Sonny from Streets Ain't Loyal. Maybe we'll do a little powwow, a little carne asada before we head back up here. You know what I mean? And you're invited today. You're invited too. I just don't know where we're going to do it at. Everyone says they live in L.A., but que Corona, que here. And I find out, like, no one's in L.A. Everyone's around L.A., but no one lives in L.A. I'm just joking. But anyways, you're invited, though, Spanquillo. That's right, Miss Pearl Contreras, I appreciate you. Much love and respect, Chicano Tube. Mr. and Mrs. Chicano Tube from Miss Pearl Contreras, I appreciate you, amiga. Maybe we'll see Miss Pearl, too. You know, it's funny you reminded me. I guess I did a live, was it a week ago or 2 weeks ago? And Brenda Love, right, well, she was in the comment section. I don't know why it just came to my mind right now. Brenda Love's in the comment section, and she just bought a new home, like with a swimming pool. Brenda Love is just, she's just balling out of control, man. She's smashing goals and doing everything a Chicana should do to take advantage of the opportunities in this country if we're blessed to be in this country, right? The greatest country in the world. No se agüitan when I say that, but I stand on it, and we can compare apples to apples if you want. Okay, this ain't Cuba. I'll tell you that. This ain't China. And some people DM me, hey, Mikey, when's Brenda Love's pool party? I'm like, when did I say Brenda Love was going to have a pool party? You guys cálmase, man. When's Brenda Love's pool party? I mean, that would be on her if she's going to have a summer pool party, or maybe it could be a housewarming party. Maybe it could be a housewarming party where, hey, bring a gift. $50 minimum. No, I'm just kidding. That's totally up to her, but I never said Brenda Love is having a pool party. You guys, leave me alone with that. Leave me alone, okay? That's right. Disco El Supervisto says, build the wall and build the wall. Here's a question, though. Like, why is border security such a touchy subject in the United States when China, North Korea, South Korea, Russia, and all these countries, Germany, they all got borders? But we don't want a border. We want an open border. Is that what the people want? Well, that's a great segue into the next topic that we're going to talk about tonight, okay? As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and play you a clip. Let me see. I'm going to have to remove the chat just for a second, cabrones. Cálmanse. Okay. I'm going to play you a clip, and then we'll dissect it a little bit. Let's see where this goes, all right? Here we go.
Horrific details today. Prosecutors in court today shared how Jocelyn had marks on her neck, scrapes on her body consistent with being dragged, and how one of the suspects put his arms around Jocelyn's neck and covered her mouth. Franklin Peña, one of the alleged killers of 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungaray, made his initial court appearance today. It was said that Peña, who's a Venezuelan native and entered the country illegally, had an ankle monitor provided by ICE.
Immigration needs to get redone. You tell me that with an ankle monitor, you're good, but you're still walking on the streets.
Fox 26 spoke with Alexis Lucero, an immigration defense attorney, and he explained that ICE places restrictions on some people they release by way of a limited service cell phone or an ankle monitor.
People are generally subject to detention when immigration authorities cannot make a determination whether that person is a danger to the community, or that they doubt that the person will actually present themselves later.
So this is what we're talking about. Let's go ahead and go on to the next topic of the night, which is a horrible tragedy that happened. And yes, they are going to politicize this topic. Yes, they are. Do I think that's right or do I think that's wrong? I do think it's wrong when it's only politics, that they don't want to solve the problem and use this in order to sway the vote of the people. Vote for me, I'll fix it. And then they don't. That's been happening for decades. Promise us something and we don't get jack. Come for the raza's vote every 4 years. Don't talk about the border, immigration for 4 years. It gets worser. There's more kids in cages. No one's talking about the kids in cages no more. No one's talking about the kids in cages. But here we are coming up on a presidential election. Okay, so now we're going to talk about it. So that clip I just played right now was a 12-year-old. A 12-year-old by the name of Jocelyn Nungaray. 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 Some people say it. I just want to say it's a horrible tragedy. My deepest and utmost condolences to the family. This is a huge tragedy, and yes, it's going to get politicized. So let's talk about it. You had two Venezuelan, immigrants, and it don't matter where they're from. I'm not throwing jackets on anybody. Don't get that twisted. Neither am I biased. If it's brown, it's right. Not everything brown is good for the people. Let me say that again. Not everything that's brown is good for the raza. We need to stop voting for people that are making policies that continue things, tragedies, enable tragedies like this to happen. A 12-year-old girl, she was kidnapped. She was gagged. She was dragged. She was AR'd multiple times. And her body was thrown in a creek. They got the culprits. One of the culprits had an ankle monitor. What you just saw in the clip I just played was a director or attorney say ICE if they think you're kind of sketchy? We don't know, looking like Tony Montana with a tattoo on his arm or una cicatriz, a scar on his face. If they don't know about you, guess what they do? They still let you in. They pour them in. They're pouring them in. They're taking them to Chicago. They're taking them to New York. We've had about 13, there's an estimate of 13 to 15 million people no one know nothing about come over the border because the border is wide open. In the last administration, there was an estimate of 1 million, of 1.5 million. Why? Because there was more budget for border security. And if there's more budget for border security, there's less people that are unvetted coming across. Because they got more guards out there, more patrol out there. They were building the border wall. That stopped. And if you really get your panties in a bunch about the border wall, guess what? It was the raza that was building that wall, not gabachos. And the raza was happily building that wall because guess what? They were getting paid. And the most important thing to the raza is that our families are well and our families are thriving because we're a family-oriented people. So if you didn't know that or if that gets your panties in a bunch, cálmate. They put an ankle monitor on him because they thought he could have been a little bit dangerous. Well, when they arrested him, he had the ICE ankle monitor. The little girl passed away. Yes, I understand Fox News is, hard right platform. Fox News is going to be having they've been having a field day. The mom already came out on Hannity. Already. And of course, they're politicizing it. Now, it's right and it's wrong. It's wrong because this is a human issue. And we shouldn't have to argue and debate about politics when it comes to preserving life. Preserving life should be the principal issue for me and for you, just like the economy. But the politicians that want to politicize this, shame on you. But this is the game you sign up for. I mean, this Friday when I have Senator Tony Virueta, when I have Senator Tony Virueta on the platform, we're going to talk about, I want to hear about how dirty is it up there, Tony? How hard is it? How hard is it to work across the aisle or really get things done? Or does the people really have a voice? This is what I want to ask Tony. Do the people really have a voice in anything? Is our vote really counting? Can change really happen? Or is it all a facade and we just got to vote someone to fill the seat? This is a sad case. Now, when it comes to the border, this is one of the primary reasons why I say shut that B down. Shut it down. A lot of people didn't even know Julio Cesar Chavez, some of you guys' favorite icons, all over with the huelga birds and the flags. And he was for closing the border. He wanted that border shut. His interest, though, this was his interest. His interest is that he wouldn't have undocumented people trying to undercut the wages and steer people away from the union, which I'm talking about the United Farm Workers. That's what I'm talking about. And this becomes very controversial because I say this and some of you guys get your panties in a bunch. That the United Farm Workers have lost their pizzazz, have lost their glory. I'm not saying the flags aren't cool. I'm not saying that, that the designs aren't cool. I'm not saying none of that. Keep wearing all that stuff from the 70s. That's cool. That's cool. I'm just saying the United Farm Workers is really a political group. You've got less than 20% of the current farm workers in California right now, less than 20 joined to the United Farm Workers. The reason they don't need to join the farm workers is because the labor laws have changed. Now they're making bank. Now they're giving them overtime. Now they're giving them PTO. Now they're giving them double time. Before, I remember I used to qualify farm workers para comprar casas. I used to qualify them. They used to have 100 hours a week and not get 1 penny of OT. Not one. It was a flat rate. They used to do them real dirty. So anyways, yeah, the United Farm, just go to their IG page. I've said this time and time. Go to the United Farm Workers IG page. Everyone wants to get mad at me, but go ahead and trip out on their IG page. Guess what? Everything is blue. All they have on their IG page, every single square on their IG is a political candidate. They're sold out. They're sold out. Anyways, back, and then let's keep it moving because we got a lot to talk about. Back to the case of Jocelyn Nungaray. Rest in peace. My condolences to the family. There's a lot of situations like this that happen every single time. Undocumented or documented, what race it was, it doesn't matter. But there could be policies put in place to safeguard against these tragedies from happening. And again, I just hope the people vote not with their feelings, but with their wallet and with some kind of pinchy principle scruple and be like, you know what? I may not like this cabron, but tough on crime is exactly what we need to be. That's right, Baby Love Substance. I appreciate you, amiga. Gracias for tapping in. Matter of fact, Baby Love Substance, it came across my feed. I think you just went live yesterday. Were you with West Coast Graffiti? Yeah, I think you were with West Coast Graffiti. That's right, man. So shout out to Baby Love Substance. Go ahead and subscribe over to her channel. Hit the avatar. I think, yeah, she has a channel. Hit that avatar right there. It'll take you to her channel. I appreciate you for tuning in, amiga. Here we talk a little bit about everything. Of course, we're live on Chicano Street. So this is what we do. Anything that interests us, the raza, which is predominantly Mexicans, Mexican-Americans, Chicanos, we talk about right here. And we get into a little bit of everything. Sometimes there's cheese, man. Sometimes there's a little bit of drama. And it is what it is. People tune in for entertainment. You know what it is. But I appreciate you, Baby Love Substance. That's right. Nobi Lightning is in the casa, my boy. We're still waiting for the return of Norby's. When is Norby's coming back? Because after you break the silence, cabron, I want to bring you on Chicano Street in person. I want to bring you in person on Chicano Street, Norby's. So get at me. Well, take your time. Do what you do. Break the silence, against Alvin and the Chipmunks. Matter of fact, it's fun. You know what? I might as well just play this right now. Let me just go ahead and play this other little clip. Why not? Let me see. Where is it at? This one right here is for Norby's. This is for Norby's.
Aren't MSNBC, you part of a city council?
No, they according to the YouTube, they fired me because I don't go because I was in that council, bro. Bro, it's
a few moments later.
Aren't MSNBC, you part of a city council?
No, they according to the YouTube, they fired me because I don't go because I was in that council, bro. Bro, it's
a few moments later.
Okay, discussion on possible actions to vacate the below-listed board seat due to excessive absences that violate the North Hollywood Northeast Neighborhood Council absence policies against G. Tejada. That was for you, Norby's. That was for you, cabrón. All right, put this back. Oh, man. Oh, here's some other irony. Trip out on this, Norby's. You want some more irony? Trip out on this. If you want me to, just go to my IG. Go to my IG. It was a little clip. And again, people think that I have personal. It ain't nothing personal. This is YouTube, man. Don't ever let this, you think this is going to carry over into the calles or whatever. And if it did, we got the boxing gym right here in Salinas. We just come and get it out of our system. But anyways, the president of the council that Alvin was fired from, the president of that council has the same last names as me, Diaz and Arias. Karma. K-A-R-M-A. Karma. That was a trip. I showed that to my wife. I don't know. I just thought about that. Right. I just remembered right now. Maybe I never put that out there. But again, it'd be embarrassing for me to get fired from a council and then want to preach to you about helping the people. You wanted to help the people in the beginning. You had good interest. But to me, I think it was a photo op. Because when the shit didn't benefit you enough, you didn't want to go to the meetings anymore, but you still want to talk about helping the people or politics. Let's leave that alone. Let's leave that alone. Fuck your feelings. That's right. Fat Albany said. Why? And they're all like 4 feet tall, huh? He's 4 feet tall. The hater world, or I call it the banda world, paisa world. The banda world is 4 feet tall. Compa Raider, who said he's quitting podcasting, but that was just a trend and you know, get numbers on a video. He's 4 feet tall. Matter of fact, the banda world took a picture with both of the guys on his couch. The guy Norby's calls Opinus. He looks like he's on methadone. Looks like he's 4 feet tall. And Boy Meets World. Why is everyone 4 feet tall? They hang out. That's a 4 feet club. All right, enough Chisme tube, okay? Sometimes we get a Chicano tube, political tube, serio tube, Chisme tube, you name it, right? It's a little bit of everything here, but here we go, right? Let's keep it moving, right? Little Cuete, I wanted to mention something about Little Cuete because the headlines came out. Little Cuete is a known Chicano rapper from SoCal. He got baptized, and a lot of people are saying this, and a lot of people are saying that, and they're just saying it for views. They're just saying it for a video. Because it is content, right? You got a Chicano rapper, and all of a sudden, he gives his life over to the Lord. He gets baptized with the pastor, and that pastor now is mentoring Little Cuete. The only thing I wanted to tell the people is this. This is the only thing I wanted to tell the raza. Don't ever try to come against the Lord's anointed or the Lord's appointed. No one knows that if a divine encounter is happening between him and the Lord or God or higher power, whatever you want to call it, I call it the Lord. Yeah, we're Christians over here. Get that straight. So that's his relationship between him and them. Me, I ain't making no videos about it. Absolutely not. That's between him and that's between him and God. Because if God is wanting to use that man, I'll be the last cabron on planet Earth that is going to put my mouth, on that situation. The phone lines. Let me see. I think the phone lines are working.
Call from Jenny Selby.
Jenny La Chicana, you're live on Chicano Street. What you got to say, amiga?
I don't know, you're on a roll tonight, dude.
Mi amiga Jenny Selby La Chicana calling in. You're in San Diego, right?
Yes, sir, I am.
How's the weather? Is it a heat wave?
It's hotter than hell over here.
It's funny because I seen the Banda World, another podcaster, and he did a video. I think it was yesterday or the day before. He was sweating all through his face because I think he's over there in Calexico. I'm like, ooh.
Oh no, over there in Calexico is different. But us people in California, we're big old babies. If it rains too much, it's too much rain. If it's too hot, then we're too hot. It's lizard weather. It's summer. Come on.
Jenny Selby, what do you think about the incident what happened with the young lady, Jocelyn Nungaray, and the 2 Venezuelan immigrants? Before you go, just give me your 2 cents on that.
Okay. First of all, the immigration system is broken. Okay? And it doesn't matter who. I can say Biden broke it, Trump broke it. Okay? It doesn't matter. They have not paid attention to it. We need to get a comprehensive bill passed to fix the immigration. That tragedy to that woman, that young girl, that is horrendous. But that goes to a lot of other issues that we have to fix. We need to be vetting people that come over in our country.
Absolutely. We're coming up on an election year. I'm going to have a senator on this Friday. We're going to be talking about that because, you're right by the border.
Oh yeah, and believe me, my father was came over through the Bracero program, okay? And I don't have anything against illegal aliens, but guess what? You need to come over here and follow the rules of our country. You can't be out there selling drugs and hurting people and not abiding by our laws. It is not the way the Constitution was written. And I don't care who it is. And I don't say my people are the best. No, we're not. Because you know what? A lot of us, do wrong things. And it doesn't matter. We have to abide by the laws of this country. That's what this citizen is. Being a good citizen is. We have to help each other and not break each other down. But it seems like Chicanos don't help other Chicanos. Por la envidia. I don't know what it is. But you know what? We have to be kind to each other because we don't know what people are going through. But we need to follow the laws in this country.
Now, let me ask you this. Will Jenny Selby tell us on live, and you don't have to, don't feel any kind of pressure, who she is voting for in November?
You really want to know?
You don't have to. Some people get a little bit, what are the people going to think? I don't care. At this point.
Hey, Mikey, check this out. I'm 70 years old, okay? I had a lot of therapy. I don't care what anybody thinks. Unless you pay my rent or I'm sleeping with you, then you could ask me. I don't care. I'm an independent. I don't want to vote for either one of them bozos.
Okay, so, but the lesser of the two, who's the lesser of the two evils? Who got Jenny's vote?
Joe Biden. He has more experience than the Orange Man. I'm sorry.
Jenny Selby. I appreciate you. I'm gonna take another call. I appreciate you, amiga. Gracias for tuning in on Chicano Street.
I'll talk to you later.
Cuídate mucho.
Bye-bye.
Now, I do want to mention something. Now, don't get offended, Jenny, because we're just speaking facts here. And shout out to Marvelous Minds is in the casa. I appreciate you, Marvelous. That's right. Another Chicano that I would like to bring on. I'm going to start scheduling in-person interviews on Chicano Street. Another gentleman I would like to invite is Marvelous Minds. I appreciate you, hermano, for being in the chat. I got to mention this, Jenny. I got to mention this. Don't hate me when I say this, but I speak straight from my heart, and I have no filter. There's no motives or filters or nothing. If this is the last thing I say, it's the last thing I say. I'd rather speak the truth and get banned, blocked, censored, and never come back, and I'll be happy and live my life in reality with my family and move on and be happy, right? Joe Biden, in my opinion, Joe Biden has done more for Ukraine in 1 year than he has done for the United States in the last 50 years. Shots fired. Shots fired. All right, let's keep it moving. That's right. Big dogs in the casa. That's right. Spider-Man wrenched up, cabron. Wrenched up. I appreciate you. Araña, did you tap it? Did you send me a text message about, I don't know if it was the beanie or the Chicano flag or something? I want to make sure because next week I'm going to be mailing off everything for everyone that won for the 11K 1 year anniversary. I highly appreciate you guys. We got 11,000. I remember when we're at 3,000, 2,000, and then now we got to 11,000. I think a lot of the reason is because I include the raza in the conversation, and I appreciate you guys' opinion. I'm trying to learn with you. I don't know it all.
Anti-grifter.
That's right, anti-grifter. You're live on Chicano Street. What you got to say, cabrón?
Meow. I'm just playing.
Hey, that's better than. Hey, real quick. A lot of people don't know this. Do you know how Kamala Harris became the Attorney General in California?
Yes, actually, I heard allegedly it's because she was
she was doing the Hawk Tua.
Yeah.
Anyways, enough of that, cabrón. What you got to say?
Hey, so check this out. Everyone's talking about how illegal immigration is a problem, right? I haven't heard anyone talk about like this other subject. People say, I heard some people on the internet say that legal immigration is actually a bigger problem because supposedly we let in like 1 million people a year legally. Mm-hmm. And then there's this program called the UN Refugee Resettlement Program. They say that I don't know if that's part of it or whatever, but because, you know, they bring illegal immigration that, they're on food stamps, they're on welfare, et cetera, et cetera. But the legal immigration, I mean, who's to say they don't take those benefits as well? What do you think?
Yes, I've heard of that. So this is what I heard. I heard that anyone the United States wants to keep in here, but they have to put a label on the can because they weren't born here, like cartel members, like high profile Russian oligarchs, or anyone that, you know, the U.S. is doing business with. They put them under this refugee program, asylum, where now that they got that, they're cool. They're not getting snatched up. But again, these are bad characters.
Oh yeah, and especially remember with the refugees. And, you know, I'm not trying to take shots at anyone, but you know how we had Russian and Ukraine refugees recently.
Yeah.
A lot of them, not all of them, some of them. You know, I got to be careful with my words. Are actually, you know, they're not good people. Now, again, I'm not trying to offend anyone, but because a lot of the people, they're very sophisticated. They know how to hack. So people from over there are more, I guess, into white collar crime.
Yeah.
And then they look at people from South of Latin America as being more into blue collar crime. And I don't know, something psychological if you think about it. When somebody gets like a weapon and they try to rob you, it's like very like a shock and awe type of thing, right? When they take your money. But when somebody just drains their account, I mean, yeah, it sucks, but it doesn't give you that scary feeling, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, knowing that, of course, no government is perfect. I'm not saying that, you know, just because we're Chicano, we embrace, you know, the U.S. side, and then we embrace the Mexican side. This is not a perfect country, especially when we're talking about the history of the country. There's a lot of black eyes. I said that when Nino America came on the channel. I said, what do you think of all the black eyes America has? And you know what he told me? He goes, there is no black eyes.
Yeah.
No, so the refugee program is another scapegoat way to let in people and just keep them here in the country without anyone extraditing them. And they say they're refugees, but they're really cartel members, mafia members, oligarchs. The U.S. can do what they do. The people with money got all the power, cabrón.
Yeah, and then, hey, can we briefly talk about what I sent you in the email?
Oh, yes. Now, let me dig into that because I do want to look that up more, maybe pull up a clip or pull up something. But thank you, cabrón. I know you're at your desk just researching, huh?
Yeah, you know, it's the stuff like I'm like a detail-oriented person, I guess you can say.
Well, I'm glad you're like OG, triple OG. He's the one that invented the YouTube yarda. You know, no one ever said the words YouTube yarda on the internet, on YouTube, before OG, triple OG said it. You're like him. You want to hold these guys accountable. When they say, like, you're the one, okay, you found the Alvin information. You're the one that said, wait a second. This guy said he left his community hanging because of a printer argument. But the city council says they fired him because of excesses, absences. So does he really want to represent the people or not? Thank you, anti-grifter guy, for that research.
Yeah, but I wanted to bring up the Calexico guy. Dude, he allegedly, according to this, you saw the video that I sent you, right?
Go ahead.
According to this guy, he says he donated $200 for him to make a reaction, and he never did. And honestly, it's been a week since I looked at the video. But yeah, pretty much, I guess that guy's not a happy camper. That the guy ripped him off. And I think he says he's from the Inland Empire, but now he moved to the East Coast. And he was saying that these are his words. His words. I don't want to say anything crazy. He says that that he donated $200 to him and he didn't do the video. So yeah, I don't know if you want to post the video somewhere or whatever.
I'm gonna double back and let me research that. And I appreciate you. Hey, keep them coming, cabron. I appreciate you doing the homework. You're the PI, cabron. Gracias.
And then the last thing, the one that I sent you about Alvin, what do you think? It's legit or not? That he had to do that?
I don't know. You're talking about like little civil suits or claims and judgments. There's a lot of claims.
That one.
Yeah, the claims and the judgments. A lot of companies, because anyone can file a claim. They could file a claim against me. I got content creator series of fighting. Next thing you know, someone slipped, someone fell, something happened, and they got to file a claim against me. They could get a judgment against me if I just don't give a shit and don't go to court. They can get a judgment against me. So I don't know how much merit it has, but I'm going to go ahead and look into that. Since you took the time to research it and send it to me, I'm going to look into it.
All right. Yeah, that's all I had, Mikey. Have a good day. And
that's right,
thank you for taking my call.
I appreciate you,
Later.
anti-grifter guy. That's right, my boy.
All right, take it easy. Later.
That's right, anti-grifter guys in the casa. I appreciate you. Mikey L., if they're legal and paying into Social Security and tax, they are entitled to benefits if they need it. That's another strong argument. A lot of the raza they want the opportunity to be here. That's why my parents went al norte. I absolutely know that. I know my parents, without a doubt, as prideful Mexicans as they were, only wanted a better quality of life for them, but ultimately thinking future pacing, they're thinking into their children's future, coming up here for future opportunities. That's why I would be the biggest pendejo on YouTube if I were to downplay this country. A country that my parents almost risked their lives to get in for the opportunities. And then here I am going to be a pendejo on the internet telling you, well, this and that and this and that. No. Let's keep this a buck. And I know the raza that are first generation Mexican Americans can relate to what I'm talking about. Or maybe you can't. And it's all to the good. All right, let's keep it pushing. The little cuete gets baptized. Yeah, you don't know what God's doing in his life. Let's just keep the lips off of him, all right? He's doing his thing. You know what I mean? That's never a bad thing. But you want to throw the gang thing in there, and no one's in jail. So keep the gang shit off of it. Anyways, Compa Raider, it came out that he wants to retire from podcasting and lose 40 pounds and all that. That's all fluff. It's all clickbait. He's still drinking up a storm. Unfortunately, I liked what he said as far as I got to calm down. He's hurting his health to entertain people, for the internet. That means he's going on benders on these podcasts, which is, I guess it looks cool, when you're scrolling and seeing someone all hungover or whatever floats people's boats on the internet, right? But I'm not going to be no one's damn clown and kill myself that much faster, 5-10 years, just so you guys can get shits and kicks. That's not going to happen. Me and Miss Chicano Tube actually are the exact opposite proponents of that. And we'll talk about health. And me and Miss Chicano Tube on the first or second podcast that she was on the channel, we did one of the 4 major asesinos of the raza and how the raza can remedy that. But they're very deeply ingrained because the raza's the raza. We don't hold diets. We don't care if we kill ourselves with alcohol and a lot of other things, unfortunately. But anyways, so Compa Raider, I just wanted to say, stop the cap, cabron. Stop the cap. You're going to keep going on benders. You're going to stay, you're going to stay 250, all just belly jiggle, and just stop the cap, cabron, Anyway, let's keep it pushing. This is something that was real interesting, came across my feed, but let me read some of the chats. Spanquillo Contreras says, Mikey didn't like that. That's right. Big Dog says, que hubo, Marv. That's right. Marvelous is in the house. I'm telling you, if I was living over there, Marvelous would have been doing all these sessions. And I still got more. Matter of fact, I'm planning this one. This is going to be next. This piece is next. I think we're going to do it like the second week of July. And then I have to go up this piece. And then we'll go up. But I would have did it all with Marvelous if I was close by. I appreciate you, cabron. Gracias for tapping in, Marvelous. Jenny69, I just want to mention something that really kind of hit close to home to me. Jenny69 came out and did a recent interview. I think it was an all-women's podcast. I don't know if it was called Baddies or West Coast Baddies, some podcast, right? But the clip that went viral is Jenny podcast. They asked her, does she have any aspirations, anything else that she wants to do in life? She's accomplished a lot. She's made 7 figures, as a Chicana. A lot of people didn't know that photo of a Chicana in a T-shirt and her hair up with a little ponytail biting a sandwich. A lot of people didn't know that was Jenny69 like 7 years ago. Now she's just, she's Jenny69. She is who she is, right? So this little clip went viral and they asked her, is there anything else you aspire to do? She goes, yes. I have it in my heart, she said this. She said, I want to be an advocate for special needs children. She goes, I would like to pass a law for there to be video cameras inside of special needs children's classrooms. Because Jenny69's son, and of course she's married, her husband is Manny. We've heard her say his name many times. And I forget her baby's name, the boy's name. He's special needs. He's autistic. He's on the spectrum. And he's nonverbal. That means he doesn't speak. Now, the reason I say that hits close to home is, I want to say this correctly. I had 2 autistic sons. One of them got completely healed. I mean, completely healed. This is going to blow you away. This is the highlight of this whole pinche hour. Hit the like button. This is going to blow you away. My oldest son, Mikey, was diagnosed with autism on the spectrum. He was almost 2 years old, and he wasn't walking, and he wasn't talking. For anyone that doesn't know, those are red flags in order to go and get the child checked out, because that's the opposite of normal. By the time they're a year and a half, you would have already heard a word and have already at least seen a step taken. They could be late talkers or late walkers, but not when they're 2 years old or past 2 years old. But me and the wife and God, ultimately it was him, and this probiotic cleanse, hardcore diet, no GMOs, no preservatives, no carb, no junk, no processed food. We went to a holistic doctor that after he helped us, trip on this. After this doctor helped us with our oldest son, Mikey, he got his license taken away not even 2-3 years later. He did a medical exemption for him and I think my daughter after him. But then by the time my last son was born, he had already got barred. He had got banned because he's a doctor, but he's practicing the opposite of what regular doctors do. He's not going to give you a pill for every problem you tell him. He's going to give you a holistic, natural treatment to the problem. So with our oldest son, Mikey, they basically told me, I took him to those meetings. My wife was working a lot. I had, flexibility in my schedule. I was taking him to all the doctor meetings, and they diagnosed him, and they said, basically, we're going to send you a check for the rest of his life. And he's going to be special ed, and always have a care provider, whatever. I stood up and I told that doctor, I had just got out of seminary. I just finished Bible seminary. I had so much faith. I was like the Human Torch, the Fantastic Four. I stood up and I told that doctor, I appreciate your opinion. I respect you. And I believe, I respect your profession and everything that you do. And I know that you are a professional. But what you said is going to happen to my son is not going to happen to my son. I told him that. Now, this doctor dude actually was from the county of Monterey. He was like a specialist from the county of Monterey Special Education Department, but he was an MD too. This doctor dude looked at me like I was a negligent parent. But I stood on what I told him. I said, that's not going to happen to my son. But then we researched it. Okay, faith is one thing, and then you have to do your part. God will do his part. You got to do your part. We cleanse the shit out of our kitchen. No more preservatives, no more GMOs, no more sugar, no more carbs. And all of a sudden, within 1 year period, our son started walking, talking. I didn't even go to those appointments. They were sending me letter after letter. I didn't go to those appointments. But when God healed my son, I went back to one of those appointments. And when I went back, he was like 4.5, about to enter kindergarten. They couldn't believe what they saw. Now, I had said, had 2 autistic children. One of them got healed. Our last son, Matthew, who's 12 years old, he's autistic. He is high functioning, autistic, but he's verbal. We're giving thanks to God for everything he can do. Not what he can't do, what he can do. So when people speak about special needs children, it hits a certain place in my heart. Also to everyone else that has special needs children. When Jenny 6'9" said that, I'm like, mírala. Mírala, Jenny 6'9". She wants to do good. And she's going to be in a position to do that. She's already got a name. She's already got lana. She can do that. She can move and propagate for that. Of course, she's going to have to go through the system, which is go through politicians, rub elbows, meet people, learn how to get laws and bills enacted. That's what she's going to have to do. If she doesn't do that, then it just stays a flash in the pan on the podcast, great intentions, but never materializes it. I wanted to bring that up because I thought that was something super important that could help the people. That's right. Kimos Flix is in the casa. He says, Feria. Biden could have literally erased homelessness in this country with half the money he sent to Ukraine. My boy, you hit the bullseye right between the bullseye. The arrow split the arrow, man. That was exactly what he could have done. But instead, I think Ukraine was just another money funneling scheme. A little country, none of us know where this pinchy country is on the map. None of us. You can't tell me you can grab a globe. Here's Ukraine. 50 billion was the last bill. 46 billion was the first bill. Of course they could fix homelessness. Of course they could fix immigration. Of course they can fix all of these. They can revamp the criminal justice system. Yes, they can. To provide incarcerated individuals training, rehabilitation, get their license, get them a trade before they come out. They could do all of these good things, but it takes a good cabron or it takes a good cabrona to do it. And then the sad thing about it is here comes otro way in 4 years and they could change the whole thing. That's just the honest to God truth. It's the way the cookie crumbles. I mean, what you want? Fuck your feelings. That's right, my boy. Keep them motherfuckers accountable. try, cabrón. You know what I mean? We try. I mean, here for sure, what we're gonna keep accountable is Chicanos. Is anyone that comes on Chicano Tube, YouTube Landia, I call it, whatever, they come on here. The last thing I want is these cabrones to try leeching off the raza. Mooching off the raza. That's why I'm quick to hey, is that guy even raza? Like even that one cabron, I forgot his name, the tall guy that fell out with hood stocks. He fell out with Swifty Blue, and he called me with Swifty Blue one day. He called me with him, and I told him I'm cool. If I would have been one of these clout chasing YouTubers, oh yeah, let's do it. Yeah, you can fight, and then Swifty can perform at the fight, and then this, and then I'll push Chicano double leg. I seen this dude cry, and then I asked around. I said, "Who is this dude?" Oh, and they said, "Oh, he was in a sweat lodge when he was down." I'm just saying. And then we have Lefty Gunplay. Hey, I wish him the best. What goes around comes around. I wish no one, ill will, because that shit will come right back around to you. But when I heard his legal name, Franklin Scott Holiday. So that's what we do on Chicano too. We want to find out, are these cabrones really raza, or they're just blending in? And I don't know. But anyways, don't forget the presidential debate is happening tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. I'm just putting it out there because I think it's going to be interesting. But at the same time, I think in 46, they're going to put an earpiece and cover it with like skin. And maybe 2 earpieces and cover it with skin. And they're going to give him a vitamin C shot and a ginseng shot for his memory. And then he's going to be looking mad, like he's full of energy. Because they're going to tell him, look mad and look energetic, Joe. And watch, he's going to blow it. I bet you he's going to repeat everything they tell him. And he's going to say something that you're going to know they're talking to him. He's going to say, pause now. Mikey L says that's racist. That's right. Talking about like sons and daughters dating outside the race. All of a sudden that, and that was trending for a little bit. And then also what was trending a little bit was LA Icon. He went ahead and he cleaned up. He did an apology video. I don't know if you want to call it that. But he said, I spoke about Juneteenth, but I didn't know nothing about Juneteenth. And so I'm like, well, why even say anything then? If you don't know, you're on the internet. People are going to fact check you. They can fact check you in real time right now while you're in the chat. Anything that I say, you can log off, go to a browser, and be like, Mikey, that's a straight up lie. But then I'm going to ask you, well, where are you getting it from? Because some of these URLs, www.blogspot.url.world. A lot of these are just made up captions for clickbait. At the end of the day, that's what they are.
Call from
Risky Business.
Live on Chicano Street. Cabron, what you got to say?
Yes, sir. Risky Business. Buenas noches, Mikey.
Hey, buenas noches. You're on the road or you're stationed? You're at the pad?
Nah, I shut it down for the night.
Okay, because you reached that.
I'm in the Texas Panhandle.
Oh, you reached the hour limit?
Yeah, I shut it down.
Hey, what happens if you drive after 11, 12 hours, whatever the limit is? What happens?
You get a violation on your e-log.
And what does that mean? $350 fine, or what is that?
Nothing. You could get put. You could get put. For example, if you get that violation, if anybody rides that truck driving gets stopped down the road by DOT, they ask you for your fucking logbook, right, which records your hours of service. You'll get put out of service for about 10 hours. They'll shut you down wherever the hell you're at.
Oh, damn. I didn't know that. Okay. I had a buddy. He put me up on that game. He pulled up to the pad with his 18-wheeler. And he told me about that he had to log it off and all this other stuff. But anyways, we talked about a lot tonight. What do you got to say, cabron?
Hey, what do you want to chop it up about? Whatever, bro.
Real quick, just tell me then the most important thing is the Jocelyn Nungaray case, the 2 Venezuelan immigrants that are now in custody. They did horrendous things to her. What do you think about? You live on the border. You probably have ran into or seen these things, or maybe not. Or what do you think about that?
Nah, I'll be honest with you. Where I'm from, we don't see that type of shit. That shit is non-existent. That shit is
So there's not people under bridges or nothing like that?
Not where I live. Nope.
Because Nino America says he knows where there's those little compounds where they put them all, and they look like country clubs, and they're playing volleyball and all that.
What they do have a few miles from my house actually is the quote unquote kids in cages. But
that Obama built.
But let me ask you, have you ever visited one of those places?
No, I haven't.
Okay, look, because that shit is propaganda, bro. Right? Well, look, I'm going to tell you, look, when people hear kids in cages, you automatically assume the worst. You automatically assume a child inside a small cage, right, caged up. But in fact, look, and this is why I'm telling you this, because a close friend of the family is actually a nurse in one of those places, and they get treated pretty damn good, man. They get education. You know what I mean? They get seen by the nurses all the time, whatever they need. You know what I mean? So it's just fucked up. It's definitely fucked up that they got to be separated from the parents. Yeah, that's for sure. But as far as the kids themselves, I mean, at least where I'm from, right? Because there's about 3 of them. But no, those kids get taken care of pretty damn good, man. It's not.
What?
Yeah, and it's go for it.
What do you think about this? Here's my answer to this, and I don't even know if I'm just shooting off the hip right here. But how about this? 100% we build the wall on every single, from all the way from Texas to California. Boom. And we build more ports of entries in order to process legal immigration. Everyone that's already here, let's say all the DACA recipients, we make them citizens. Let's not even worry about them. There's 2 million, 3 million. They're all citizens. Whoever's here is here. If they're malinches, they're going to commit crimes and they're going to get busted. But we put money from other places, from where we're sending over to wars, we're sending over to other countries. We put that into the immigration system, and for damn sure we can expedite processing people. If not, they just don't come in. Is that right or wrong?
Yeah. Is that right or wrong? I mean, yeah. Some solution to where it benefits the gente that are already here, obviously, you know what I mean? But listen, the border wall, it sounds good. It sounds good. We can talk about it. We can discuss about it. We can argue about it. But for starters, in South Texas, where I'm from, there's already a wall there. Now, now listen. Now check it out. There's two borders, right? You have a physical border, which is the Rio Grande, right? And then in Texas, you have the border wall. A wall exists already. It's been existing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this is propaganda. When people hear a border wall, you automatically think a big, powerful wall, because those are the words that get used, right? A big, powerful wall, so powerful. Okay, except that when that was the discussion where I'm from, the landowners that the wall was going to get built on disputed that.
Now, you know, the wall was really like, it was like 20, 30 feet high. They looked like thick slats of steel. I mean, it looked like when they were building it, like it was just easy to put together. But I'm just saying, there's unopened sections. I think me and you disagreed last time. I had said that the border's wide open. You said the opposite, right?
Yeah, I said it's close. And obviously, I'm speaking where I'm from. But, But okay. But then, so then, what about all the money that's being spent on border patrol?
Well,
so you think it's open, but it's not open. You know what I mean? Because, for example, in Texas, where I'm from again, there's a whole bunch of Florida state troopers that are down there assisting in the whole fucking patrolling of the border, right?
Yeah.
Then a mile, not a mile. I'm sorry. About 100 miles north of the border, then you have a checkpoint. So you have additional security to the border. You know what I mean? So that's why when I tell you that it's secure to me is because every time I go home and I come back, and that's still in Texas, I got to pass through a border patrol checkpoint.
Yeah. But
every week,
there, again, there are open sections. There are open. I brought Cabron. I talked to people that tell me they go over the montañas. So there's open sections where people just come across. And in the incident with Jocelyn Nungaray, what happens is they're just letting them in. They can't process them all. They figure they're already here. And again, because of the administration in the White House is telling them, because it's like this, hey, we're humans and we got to love each other and let them go and give them free health care and give them sex changes. They're letting people go. The cabron that did that with the 12-year-old girl already had an ICE ankle monitor. And the attorney that I saw on my IG, the attorney said they put those ankle monitors on them when they don't know who you are. They could think you're a risk or be dangerous, but they put a monitor on you. But the guy said, yeah, but he's still walking on the streets and you consider him halfway dangerous. He shouldn't even be here.
I agree. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. You know what I mean? But at the same time, this is why I say that the Mexican people need to separate themselves from other countries so that us, right, my people, don't get seen in that light, because it's not the Mexican people that are doing that fucking shit. That dude is a piece of shit. He deserves the death penalty.
Okay, but don't throw all the Venezuelans under the bus, cabron. Don't throw all the Venezuelans under the bus.
Okay. No.
That's what it sounded like you said.
No, I'm not. But I am pro my people. And if that offends other people, then so be it. I'll be the one to speak up for my people.
I'm with you.
You know what I mean?
100% on that. That's right, cabron. Hey, gracias for calling in. Hey, if I'm going to start doing in-person interviews over here, whenever you're in the Monterey County area, you're going to have to swing by, cabron.
I got you. But look, let me leave you with this, bro, real quick, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Look, I'm just using logic, right? And like I said, what this piece of shit did to this little girl, you know what I mean? I agree. He deserves everything that he's got coming to him. But at the same time, bro, me being logical, I don't see this as he did this because he's an illegal. No, he did this because he's a human being. And whether you're a citizen or an illegal or legal or whatever you are, that's something that a human does. You know what I mean? Just because you're an illegal doesn't mean that you're gonna do that. So let's use some logic when we put this shit out there. You know what I mean?
Risky business calling in one more time, making the people think. I appreciate you, cabron.
Yes, sir. Buenas noches.
Ándale, cuídate mucho. Buenas noches. That's true. I said that not too long ago. I said it don't matter race, color, nothing. When your heart is black, your heart is black. But these situations could be prevented if we had the right policies. And one thing is having the right policies. Another thing is enforcing them. I'm going to leave you with this story. My own cousin worked for Border and Customs. My cousin Wadey, my cousin Thomas. A month and a half before his sister's wedding, his only sister, and it's my cousin. There's only two. It's a boy and a girl. A month and a half before his only sister's wedding a couple of years ago, he caught 3 223s from these cabrones coming over the border. When these cabrones come over the border, the only reason they're shooting on sight is because they have a cargamento, someone they're protecting, or they're bringing over a large group of peoples or children. I'm telling you the honest to God truth. I have a cousin who is on the Custom and Border Patrol. They're only shooting to bring smuggle shit over, protect somebody, a narco kingpin or something like that, or they got a group of people, which a lot of times are groups of children. He caught 3 bullets in him. By the grace of God, he was able to dance with his only sister a month and a half later because the Lord protected him. Those bullets went in and out and hit no major organs. Some real shit, man. Some real shit. Gracias for everyone that's tapping in. The Chicano Hour Wednesday night edition. We'll be back on Friday night with California State Senator Tony Virueta, who just secured again his nomination overwhelmingly by securing the GOP vote in California. Yes, California is majority a blue state. Yes, it is. It's a blue state. What does blue mean? Look that up. Democrats, Republicans, red, blue. I don't see none of that. I see policies. I see what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And just like I said, not everything brown is good for the raza. We're going to talk about it right here. But live on Chicano Tube, live on Chicano Street. Let me give a final roll call before we go one more time. Mikey L. Brother, there's thousands of miles with zero security. There's not enough bodies to patrol the whole border. Exactly, unless they put money into the border. But in order to put money into the border, you have to see it important. And I do. The only thing I see about the border is the sex trafficking and the cabrones that shouldn't be here. Like the cabron that just did what they did to the young lady. My condolences over to the family. Horrific. They're in Texas. Horrific incident. May justice be served. You know, some people, we could talk about that maybe next time. Some people say the death penalty. I will maybe let you know my thoughts on the death penalty next time. That probably deserves a video all by itself. Bigfoot's in the casa. Mile High Hustle. I appreciate you, my boy. Mile High Hustle, who's coming up, cabron. Guess what's coming up this November to remember? We got Mile High Hustle, who's got a tall task ahead of him. There's a mountain to climb, and that mountain is called Paradigm Media News. I actually was in contact with both of these gentlemen just today, having a good conversation. Everything is on track for a November to remember. Before we do that, we'll get to the press conference. We'll be releasing all of these details. You guys finally wanted to see this fight happen. I want to thank both fighters for making the negotiations as seamless as possible. These are individuals that really are not just talking, but want to get in there. And this is what you call a friendly fade. This is what I would call two captains on the tira going head up. No, I'm just kidding. With all due respect, Mile High Hustle, I appreciate you. November to remember, you guys. Last roll call. Fuck your feelings. That's right, my boy. I appreciate you. It's fat. You're on your way to a wrench, cabron. You're on your way. GMZ, too. Carlos, everyone is on their way to a wrench, cabron. You just got to be day oneers and vibe with the people right here. You know what I mean? Fuck with your boy, man. That's right. Risky business. That's right. I appreciate you. Dos pinche cuetes, papas. Talk about the known terrorists that have crossed. There's a smuggling ring that's funded by Hamas. Oh, my gosh. They're not even Mexican. 90% are not even Mexicans coming across the border. That's why it is an issue, but this is not the border channel. You know, you want to talk about the border channel? Alvin. I don't know why. He still thinks he has a place to talk about politics when the first thing he owes is to his own community an apology. I let you guys down. I put my hands up. I made an oath that I was going to serve you. But, they're doing this. They're doing that. When times got tough, he threw in the towel on the people. And then wants to move on, and then wants to tell me and you about politics. Okay, it is what it is. That's right, Mikey L. That's right, AC Ibarra. I appreciate you, my boy. Gracias for tapping in. That's right. Fuck your feelings. That's right. Boss Lady, I appreciate you guys. Live on Chicano Tube, live on Chicano Street. I'm going to see you guys on Friday night. I'm going to tap back in with the familia. One more Chicano hour is in the books. If you're listening podcast style, go back. And I appreciate you. Go back and replay the whole thing. Do me a favor, though. This is all I ask. This is all I want from the channel. This ain't about views. This ain't about numbers. Or I don't even know how much, YouTube deposits every month. I don't give a shit about that. All I ask is that you hit the like button. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. It helps the channel. When you hit the like button, it helps the algorithm. As many Chicanos as we have in Califas, literally, we're like 40% of California. We're on our way to uniting and becoming the powerhouse that we are. And the first step is this Friday night with Senator War Hero Tony Virueta. Live on Chicano Tube, live on Chicano Street. Hit that like button one more time, mi linda, beautiful raza. But remember what I always say? I'm going to catch you guys on Friday night. Remember what I always say. In the end, all you got is the memories.